Transmission was lifted up onto the table. The chain, it was pretty heavy. I probably could have done it by myself, but it was heavy enough anyway. I built a cart, put it on, so I didn't have to work on the ground. So here's a picture of the cart that I set it on. It was fairly dirty. It leaked like crazy. I drained all the oil out of it as possible, and then we got to scraping all the crud and dirt off of the outer casing. None of the movement was free. The linkages didn't work at all. I took them all off. You can see here it was just caked on and road debris, old oil, and all kinds of junk that took a while to scrape off. So you scrape at it a little bit by little, and you eventually get down to the bare metal, which is what we want. In this picture, you can see I broke one of the nuts, the studs sticking out. Here's another look at the other side. It's fairly rusted cast iron, but we get it all cleaned up. Looked online for the correct replacement part. Boy, is that difficult one to find. This is a T10 4-speed transmission that wasn't supposed to be in the car. According to the VIN number, it's supposed to be a 289 3-speed, but that's not what we have. We have a 4-speed. But here you can kind of see that I cracked it open to see what it looks like inside, and on first glance, it looks pretty good. Nothing was stuck. Nothing was worn terribly bad. Just some dirty oil. And we're going to go clean that up and see what it looks like.
I got the outside all cleaned up, but I look in here. It looks pretty good. Everything turns like it should. The arms are where they're supposed to be. Nothing looks terribly worn or stuck. So I'm going to get a gasket. I did have to, I broke this one, so I'm going to have to get a new one. I think I have to get the whole thing. But we'll replace that, put it back together, clean it up a little bit more. Okay, so there's a thin gasket. I don't know if you can see it real well, but thin piece of gasket. It's like a paper material. Just using a sharp blade to just scrape as much off as I can. You know, focus. Yeah, you can't focus really well, but believe me, you can feel it. There's a thin piece of gasket material that's in pieces. I gotta scrape that all off and put the new gasket on. You know, stuffing a rag around the corners to not get as much stuff in there as possible, but it's only this paper material, so it's not gonna ruin anything if it accidentally gets down in there, but it'll be okay. So when you're scraping, try to hold the blade as flat to the surface as possible. You don't want to, you know, scratch with the tip. Try to avoid putting deep scratches in there. You want the whole point is to keep this machine surface nice and smooth as possible. The smoother it is, the better the new gasket will seal to it, and the less leaks you will have. Less leaks, good. Don't forget to get the other part that the gasket touches, because there might be a little bit of stuff that is left over. This looks like a stain, but there might be something here, so we'll clean this side up too. That way both sides of the gasket have good, nice, smooth surfaces to play with. Well, there you go. Took the engine, or the transmission, all the way apart. It wasn't my plan, but did it anyway. So the manual says to put a sleeve of some kind in through here to keep the pins from falling out. Didn't do that. Couldn't figure out how to do that. Pins fell out anyway. Okay, but in here I cleaned it out as best as I could. Got all the sludge and crap out of there manually with a bunch of rags and pins. Located the pins with this guy. A little tool grabber. Has a magnetic end on it. I put it in a rubber glove and then dipped it in the oil until I found all the little bits. Let's see. So, yep, there they are. All of them in there. And the little magnetic housing there. Here's the end of the speedometer. Finally got that freed up and out of the hole. I had to cut a slot in it to kind of wiggle it back and forth until it broke free from all the rust and crap that was holding it in there. But that's out. One thing to note to get this guy out, let's see, is it upside down? Okay, so on this side, the reverse selector, there's a pin that goes top to bottom that you gotta pop out. This one was stuck. You're supposed to go this way. I went this way, and I blew out a little bit of the cast iron right there. I'm gonna have to fix that. Maybe we'll figure that out when I get that far. But then you pull the selector. Where the hell is the selector? So you pull the selector. It's sitting in the hole here, and you pull it towards you as far as you can, and that will release on the inside, and then you can pull it, pull the whole thing out. This whole thing will pull out the front. And that's how I got it separated. I'll clean up these parts individually. Maybe take this in and get it professionally done. I don't know. Maybe I don't need to fix it at all. We'll have to figure that out. But I got a new whole set to replace all the gears and or all the seals. So I'll clean up all the gears, the surfaces, and put new seals in. Well, crap, that's no good. I'm all the way over on this side, and I still got about another inch on this side to separate the transmission and the stupid frickin' engine. No wonder it's a $7,000 job on this stupid GMC. Holy hell, easy does it. Slowly and surely. Oh, focus. There we go. Not a Ford, but dang, that took every fraction of an inch to get that sucker out of there. And it can be done. I don't see any problem with the old seal, but it was leaking anyways. So here's a new one. All that effort for about 10 minutes of work to put this stupid thing in. Alright, let's do it. Hey, floor. Holy crap, there's a lot of stuff under there. That was less fun than I thought. And back to cool projects.